name is Martins, the founder and president of Quebec Food Processing Industrial Parks Limited. And we are the promoters and the conveners of the program and initiative called Make Go Farm. Now, Quebec Food is a company limited, incorporated with corporate affairs, limited by shares with diverse and prudent and well-experienced technical persons who are in the field of cassava valuation, rice valuation, palm oil, and all that. We are out to help our nation as a country to unravel a lot of issues around. For the past 13 years, this year 2024 will make it the 14th year that we're being on this, trying to draw the attention of the government, engage the government at all levels, right from the 8th and 9th National Assembly, governors in the past 4 years, to see the need for us to invest more in agriculture, basically to look beyond oil, basically to see that we do more, to see that our rural communities are fully active in agriculture, all year farming and all that. Because no matter what we do as humans, we must eat. And I believe today Nigerians will agree with me that what we have been saying in the past 13 years, even at the emergence of the program Make We Go Farm, which we do a live radio program every Wednesday from 2:05 to 3 p.m. at the Armed Forces Radio 107.7, the voice of the Nigerian military, has become a reality. This current administration, last year there was a state of emergency on food. And I was told Nigerians that after 12 months, we all have our ways to evaluate this current administration and performance in agriculture. You could be, if you are very conversant and you are the type that follow the trend of activities from the Federal Ministry of Agriculture down to what we are doing today, you discover that a lot of things are being done, but the instant effect is not what we are seeing now, because it will take some time. But while government is doing their part, I also want to draw the attention of Nigerians that Nigerians need to do more. Nigerians need to do more. Everybody needs to come together to ensure that we'll be able to feed our growing population, be able to see how things can come down. It's like I said, if you are pointing a finger like this to the government of the day, 4 is pointing to us as Nigerians. Why? Everybody must deal with food. But before we move on this broadcast, it's very important that I speak today, and that is why this is coming up. I want to also let Nigerians to know that yes, gone are the past, we had a lot of issues in the agribusiness investment platform and all that. But the truth remains that more people, more funds are needed to invest in agriculture. Before I go further, what is the Make We Go Farm initiative, which we started? And we have the Make We Go Farm initiative is a weekly radio program and a quarterly workshop. It's a program meant to sensitize Nigerians on the need for us to go back to farming. It's a program to sensitize Nigerians to make available our family lands that are very massive and all that, so that we can do something more better with our life and generate income. It's also for those investing people who have funds to invest back into agriculture, especially to eradicate the area of people giving people money to farm for them. And then end up restoring due to shallow practices, due to insincerity and all that. That made us to come up with initiative and also come up with something different that Nigerians will be seeing anytime soon, which is our farm estate model. Now, what are we trying to do? Our mission is very simple. We are trying to bring in civil servants, public servants, bring foodstuff traders, bring agri graduates, get communities together, ensure that our arable lands that are uncultivated become very active and become useful. Because gone are those days, I don't want Nigerians to focus more on what politicians have not been able to do. If we want to atomize them, it will take a longer time, and we just sit and argue, and our time we just while away like that without achieving any meaningful conversation. Now, what politicians cannot do is what we want everybody to come together, because whether you are a politician, whether you are a medical doctor, whether you are a banker, whether you are a professional person or non-professional person, we all meet at a table point where people must eat. And that is why we are saying, let's go back to the farm. Our former President Muhammad Buhari, was using a native tune or dialect that says, let's go back to their farms. When he was talking, people did not understand, but people were just concerned about his pronunciation, his mother tongue and all that. But the truth is that the best way to go is go back to that bush. We need to go back to our farms. Of recent, you are aware that the federal government is working on a policy to remove the free import duties on food importations and all that. And you had our former Minister of Agriculture, who is the current president of the Africa Development Bank, 40 that. And as a result of that, the Honorable Minister for State of Agriculture came on air on Arise TV and China's, I think today as well, trying to defend that yes, everyone has his own view towards any issue that is on ground as a nation. But the truth is that every one of them are communicating a point, and they all know that whatever that policy might look like, it's also going to affect the country. But as a nation, as a leader, I think what the Federal Ministry of Agriculture is trying to do is to see that on the short term, and whatever it is, whether short term, long term, what we are trying to do is to make sure that everybody comes together, and that is just the key focus drive of Quebec. You might be seeing our ad on investment, seeing our ad on different activities we do, but the common goal is this: not to mislead the masses, not to reap any one of their finances, but just to make them to understand that there are certain things that are possible, and it's possible when we have positive mindset. We know that investment environment today in Nigeria has become something else, but let's look at some actual facts today. Currently, after the monetary policy stuff that came up, and the interest rate has gone up, even the banks have also rated agriculture as one of the high risk stuff like that. And if you look at their recent structures for manufacturing businesses, it's not even ideal, it's not safe, it's not even healthy for any businesses or manufacturing company, or as far as to an agri company, to begin to go into loans to do their business. Which means the more we keep quiet, the more we be suffering when it comes to be able to feed our citizens becomes an issue. Now, we want to talk more on one commodity for now, which is rice. We started our rice project last year, 2023, and we started with investment offer of paddy rice processing investment, which was a 6 months investment plan, which gives you 20% return. A lot of people say this, say that, say this, say that, and I can tell you we succeeded a lot because to the meaningful Nigerians who believed in us, especially after our last event at the Nigeria Diaspora Investment Summit, when I pitched. That was November 14th, 2023, when I pitched last year, presenting the Make We Go Farm initiative, telling Nigerians home and abroad that it might take a little time, but I want to assure them that Nigerians are willing to farm. People are ready to go back to farm. And today, we have been able to we have successfully held the 3rd edition of the workshop, and things are going smoothly. And at that point, the 3rd edition, the 2nd edition of the Make We Go Farm, that was held in February 17, 2024, we had the opportunity to unveil a food production contribution program. All of this is just to see that people get more knowledge of what we're doing, things to get better and address more issues. At least last year, people also knew that we sold our rice at 45 at the control market price. Some of the palliative contracts we did that were brought to us by subcontracting, we gave at 42, at 40, whereas we knew the volume per bag that the federal government actually awarded these people. Now, what is Quebec driving in this particular commodity is one, quality and quantity assurance. Now, I just want you to look at the commodities. You see, these are different samples of rice. These are different grades of rice, which I'm going to open. This is grade 1. This is what Quebec gives at the final point. Stone free. This is another grade. These are different kind of grade of rice and various grains, various different species or varieties, as you might call it. These are all rice. These are all things you will find in our open market today. Now, I've succeeded in doing this because there are certain things Nigerians need to be aware of. Now, these are various grades of rice, and the most painful part of it is that you find this in the market, and mostly people go for noodles and all that. Now, this is grade 1, you see, polish, well clean and all that. Now, what Quebec wants to do, or what we have been doing, is to ensure that people get value for their money, which is this grade, this particular one. All of these are different categories of rice that comes from different, from all the production processes, depending on the quality of your paddy. And there are a lot of malpractices being done in the rice processing business today, where different grades are being, species are being mixed together. Those of you know very well about how about rice paddy and various seed or species of the rice. We have Gemilia, we have CP and all that. Some of them mix them up and all that. And most times what we find out is that at the end of the day, people even harvest rice that are not due for harvest. So mix with the paddy, and at the end of the day you discover that by the time those rice stay for like 6 hours, or the rice get cold, get cold after cooking them and all that. So like the rice turns to water and all that. So these are some of the secrets that people do not know, and it leads to a lot of issues in our health system and all that. That's why we're calling Nigerians to say, partner with us in our investment program for our rice. This has been a project we have started last year when we started the rice, seeing the demand for it and all that. And I can assure you that our products are of highly demand today, because why? We maintain quality, we maintain quantity. And that's why you can see that in all our Make We Go Farm workshops, we have the presence of NAFDAC always present, we have the presence of the Federal Competition Consumer Protection Commission, which is FCCP, that their mandate is to ensure that consumers are being protected, to ensure that they get value for their money. We have the Federal Ministry of Agriculture Technical Department, which I want to say a big thanks to the Honorable Minister of Agriculture, who has always approved our letters to ensure that the Make We Go Farm initiative has been a huge success right from the first edition, which was done last year, 2023, and today they have been there committed and ensure that this project becomes a huge success. Now we also have the likes of the Bank of Agriculture and the NISA Microfinance. We have about 2 insurance companies that have been there with us, also to Guraya and Asamata and all that. We have a lot of people like the Defense Nigerian Military and all that, and the Nigerian Civil Defense, making sure that all our plans security is provided for us to achieve this. Now, the current rice investment open today, which the ones that have been there are still running, we are saying to Nigerians that it's possible for us to provide you with a very good return of 8.5%. And people begin to ask questions, is that possible? Yes, it's possible, because for us in Quebec, we feel the best thing to do in a critical time like this is to ensure that our investors get 51% of our profit while we retain 49%, because one, we believe in making sure that Nigerians get value for their money and at the same time buy a very good product at a very affordable rate. Our profit margins are not like what you see out there in the market, and in as far everyone has his own mode of operation in his company and all that, but we're still making Nigerians to know that actually if we focus more on production than buying, just like what the government is doing, I'll see the opportunity to say to His Excellency the President that it's better most of these funds are put into production. Let's go through the pay once and for all and know that Nigerians are out of buying rice at a very high hiking price and all that. If we like not to know today, at us today, being the 16th day of July 2024, you should be able to know that rice is between 80,000 to 90,000, even to 100,000. Where are we going? It means it's going to be very alarming for us to cope. And you don't forget, there's a notion in this country which has been, when prices go up, it takes time to come down. But the truth is that when it comes to food, if rice being a major commodity and the federal government really wants to do more, I think we should just go through the pains once and for all and know that once a massive harvest starts, we'll be able to know that rice cannot be controlled, sold to Nigerians at a controlled price. That has been our vision in Quebec, to see that people get things at a very affordable rate and we'll move forward. So for the investment package, all you need to do is you download, and that's why I said we launched a platform. Really, the platform is basically for people outside the country, because having looked at the investment system in Nigeria, a lot of people have lost interest in investing in agribusiness. And that's why you see for now our investments are tied to only processing. It's not that we want to start investments in our farm estate and all that, and we shall be unveiling that structure come September 14, 2024 at the 4th edition of the Make We Go Farm workshop. And the team which the board has approved, the team will be climate smart agriculture, a key focus on cassava and rice value chain. Now we need to talk about climate change. A lot of things are happening in our farmlands and all that. These are the things we will need to be talking about in the next 4 months, effect from September 14. So we came up with a structure to see that it's easier, whether you are within the country, outside the country and all that, you can invest from anywhere you are. Not like other ways you see investment, no evidence of investment, no agreement and all that. All this has been digitalized. So our focus in Quebec is focusing on food crops, fruits, vegetable and livestock, because these are the things we deal with. And that's why when we launched our food production contribution program, we had about 4 value chains we are tackling. And these are cassava value chain 1, rice value chain 2, palm oil, egg and catfish. The idea is these are things people must eat on a daily basis. And what will be the positive effect for it is that by the time we meet up with our target, trying to get 1 million Nigerians to subscribe to this program, that tells us that at the end of the day we'll be able to produce more and sell to about 4 million Nigerians. And at this point, there will be massive production on the part of Quebec and its development partners on cassava, on rice, on palm oil, poultry and livestock. Now what will happen is that our fishing communities, it will actually help in the process of encouraging our youths in fishing communities to go back, to make sure that we begin to fish out, go for natural fish from the natural water. For those who were part of the program in Akwa Ibom House at here, the Federal Capital Territory Abuja at May 14, and those who have tested that fish knew the difference between mud fish or fish that are being raised at home. There are huge difference in the product by processing and all of that. So our focus is to see that these 4 value chains, 5 value chains I've just mentioned, will take it in the next 5 years and make sure that cassava will be the next gold mine, rice will be the next gold mine, palm oil will be the next gold mine, fish will be the next gold mine as far as Nigeria is concerned. Now, what will be the bigger picture for this is that we'll be able to decongest urban cities like Lagos. Now, because if you notice from the last research we did on what nature of the problems we are facing in our rural communities today now is that there are aged farmers who are still willing to farm. The issue of labor has become a major problem. So Quebec has been able to come up with strategies to make sure that things get better, where our youth can now come back home to the rural communities to ensure through our farm estate design with a total welfare package that is well structured, with insurance, health insurance package to follow, and most of those benefits that makes Nigerian youth to crave for to be employed in the public sector as civil servants. These are strategies we have put in place, and this can only work effectively by the two structures we have put in place: raising investment, people to put in their money into your investment platforms, and people to also subscribe to our food production contribution program. This is to complement both the production, the sales, and ensure that there are people who have sacrificed to put their money down to ensure that the projects in these 4-5 value chains become a reality, while those who cannot afford to invest can also benefit by paying sacrifice via their level of contribution and making things to work. Now, the rice investment, this one will run for 6 months and you get 8.5% monthly. Now, we have certain threshold. A unit is 500,000, and that unit of 500,000, if you invest about 5 units, it makes you to get an instant incentive of 25 kg back of this same product you are investing on. You are not investing on something that you are not actually selling. All investment we do in Quebec, you invest in products that are in the market, people have consumed, people can testify to. So is it on the part of our palm oil or for rice and all that? So we are bringing a structure that you no longer invest in what you cannot have access to. So even as an investor, we have been able to put strategies in place whereby you can also taste from the product. It's by way of checking the quality control. Many of our investors today, they are no longer buying rice outside. They eat our rice. They eat our palm oil. Some even substitute the rice for garri and all that. These are strategies we have put in place to make sure that we only consume the quality product. Now, 8.5% looks very big, but the gospel truth is that the demand for rice now, especially Quebec products, gives us that opportunity. And secondly, our products do not stay up to even 48 hours when we produce. When we produce, only stay up to 48 hours, and we have succeeded in making sure that at any point we produce, there is always a demand for it and all that. So the only thing we need to bridge the gap is to get more funds put together to make sure that this product is always available to Nigerians at a very affordable rate and a controlled price. You can do well to follow us on our social media platforms. If you need to DM us, you need to talk with us directly, you can always reach out to us on these numbers: 07016358414. I take it again, you can reach out to me directly as well: 07016358414. Continue to follow us on our social media platform, and don't forget, there are 2 programs you must not miss: the weekly Wednesday Make We Go Farm live radio program on Armed Forces Radio 107.7. If you are within Abuja or outside Abuja, outside the country, you can as well follow us live on the program on our Facebook page, Quebec Foods. Don't forget, we are in a critical situation in the country now. Food has become a major issue, and it's something we must have to find a way to resolve, and that the only way we can resolve that is when everybody returns back to the farm. Don't forget, make we go farm, let's go back to their farm is what everybody wants to hear now. In terms of insecurity, these are being handled, and that's why we're saying, for now, if you cannot farm yourself, identify with Quebec, we can get those done and get it done through our farm estate platform, and things will get better for the country.